live when you're
Oh,
there's
recording.
We're live! Yay!
Woohoo!
everyone, straight faces, don't mess it up. We're on live TV. All right, so I guess as far as like, I mean, we can pick the most basic example. Do we want to go through our examples and just pick which one we feel like, and then, or we'll pick, but we'll have to like adapt it, I think, because I definitely, I don't know, at least on mine, like I feel like I got everything, but I probably certainly missed something.
I know. Same here. I feel like I understand what's going on, but I don't know how to explain it the best way for an example to use on like an exam or something.
Oh, there we go. So, on her little your group thing, it says each of us should take turns sharing an example that we came up with.
Oh, okay.
And then as we do, the other students ask questions to clarify, and then you're supposed to decide what to make it a more accurate exam.
Gotcha.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Well, I think there's an unwritten rule, so you could go with like ladies first, or
I think if anybody who's like ready to like shoot their example out and just let us know.
I can go. I can go first.
take it away, Aaron.
Go.
We'll start with the worst first.
Oh, whatever. It's gonna be the best.
Probably not.
Okay, so mine is that Mary recently paid for a large mall from a State Farm. However, when her delivery arrived, nearly all the milk was rotten, a loss of nearly $5,000. When Mary asked, what was that? Okay. When Mary called John Cow for the rotten milk, he refused. Not being able to swallow such a huge loss, Mary decided to go to court and sue John Cow for the losses. She goes to a trial court that had the right jurisdiction and venue and filed a complaint, in which she told the basis of her complaint as well as the desired remedy. The sheriff of this town then took this complaint to John Cow, as well as giving him the summons to court with a time period of 20 days for his answer. John Cow, not wanting to deal with this, he was denied. Day he answered her complaints, denying he had sold her rotten milk. He did not have any counter. The two, with their attorneys, began the discovery. Both sought to get dispositions or sworn testimonies from different parties and witnesses, including the drivers, workers at the neighborhood store, and others. They gathered interrogatories, I think you know what I mean, or written questions to be answered in writing under oath by another party. Once this was all gathered, then bring all of their documents that may be relevant for the case. Mary and pre-trial. It was short and was mainly to be sure go by smoothly. If the trial began, they gathered their petite jury of 12 people. These people had been previously examined and accepted by both the plaintiff and defendant. Or I guess their attorneys. I should have put that there. The trial starts with opening statements from both the plaintiff and the defendant, both telling what they are expecting to prove. The plaintiff's his case witnesses cross-examined. So these witnesses are eyewitnesses or people who had saw, heard, or had some experience with the delivery of the rotten milk. Once all of this evidence was given, the plaintiff sat. The defendant then called, which due to the presented evidence was denied. With this, the defendant's attorney begins to call forth witnesses, including an expert witness, one who had the knowledge and experience about the rotten milk. The plaintiff was able to cross-examine these witnesses as well. Witnesses had told all they could. The plaintiff got a chance So, knowing that he could prove some more opinion affecting facts, the plaintiff goes on answering many of the questions that the witness of the defendant rose. Once he finished, chance or trying to prove his client's innocence. Once the jury retired, viewing the factual evidence until they come to a unanimous decision is then shared with the plaintiff and the defendant, which they found not guilty, feeling that there was interpretation of the area appeal. According, each attorney presented short oral statements of key points of their argument. No new evidence was given. However, the higher courts of appeal found that John Cow was guilty and subject to pay for the rotten milk as well as their fees. So that is my overly long and complicated example.
Dude, if our examples were cars, yours would be a Ferrari and mine's a little Volkswagen Bug.
Woo! I don't know if it should be that long though. So anyways, how can it be improved?
Well, maybe the internet connection could have been improved because I heard most of it. But I don't know if I don't know if I have too much to say about like the details because the details were like really represented well, and you kind of got the idea of what it was supposed to be after you kind of explained it in detail. So again, you did really well.
Oh,
I think yours was great. I couldn't have said it better if I made it up myself.
Sorry, guys. My internet conked out. But I agree. I really liked yours. I couldn't have said it any better. Like, I definitely didn't. So.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. Wow. I just, it's like a page long. I thought it was just way long. I didn't know how to shorten it and still get all the steps in.
It's true. It can be quite challenging. I thought it was challenging. I didn't know how detailed or non-detailed we were supposed to get. So I think mine's on a page. Mine's like a third of a page. It's not very big.
That works. Cool. Well, let's hear some other people's.
I can go next. Mine's pretty sad. I'm sorry for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a go.
All right.
All right.
So, and Justin Parker puts out a pleading for a lawsuit on Wicked Inc. The court summons Wicked Inc. and then gave a court summons to Wicked Inc. to answer. They chose to take it to court and to not do a motion to dismiss. And then the affirmative defenses were drawn up. Then there was a discovery period. I basically just went step by step, so definitely not as good. Pre-trial conference, and then the trial is held. There's then motions made after the trial. There's no agreement, and then the case is taken to appeal court. I mean, that was my understanding of it, but that's definitely not what she asked for.
Wait.
Where to go with it. So I feel like I understand the basics, but it's pretty simple.
You added something on there that I didn't actually think about was the fact that like they didn't come to a decision and so it went to appeals afterwards. I didn't see. Yeah.
Because she said to take, I think, from complaint to appeals.
Right.
And she didn't say
right. Yeah.
Have like a motion acted on appeals, but I liked with yours, Aaron, that you had all the detail in it, which was really nice.
I regurgitated what the book said. I like yours. I feel like if there was an essay or like a quiz question, it wouldn't be as long as mine is. You know, I feel like it'd be more short, simple, and good. Like I felt like yours hit all the point. And explain things that would then the quiz question could ask you about.
I know. I mean, I feel like it was like condensed and like very like baseline, but the way like she's done her examples, it's been like with a story to it, and I was like, I don't really know how to do that. My brain, I'm like, I'm just gonna go with it, and we'll figure it out from there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay. Well, I'll go next if you're okay with that. Or you can fight me for it, Alexandra, if you go.
You go ahead, because I'm still technically
Okay.
working on mine.
Gotcha. All right. So again, I said mine was silly, and I just went with it. So bear with me here. So Larry McBiceps is suing Nancy Run with Money for a breach in their company's contract. Larry first has to file a lawsuit with the appropriate court for the civil case. Larry, now the plaintiff, and Nancy, now the defendant, will have to bring the appropriate pleadings to the lawsuit. Larry's filing what is called a declaration of petition with the clerk of the trial court. In his documents, there should be facts and the basis of the suit. Once submitted, the sheriff will serve a summons to Nancy, and this summons will be a place for Nancy to answer against the complaint. If she doesn't want to answer, she can file what's called a motion to dismiss. Nancy instead decides to answer, and in her answer, she included an affirmative defense or facts that would defeat the complaint. Prior to the trial, both parties will have time to discover witnesses, other testimonies, facts, and evidence to prove the case. In this case specifically, the judge's interpretation of the evidence, he passes judgment that Nancy is guilty of fraud and is now obligated to relinquish all that was stolen and substantially fine. At this point, Nancy then later files an appeal to which she has one chance, and then I like parentheses it, if granted, to have her attorney present, or to have her attorney present their arguments in her defense. After hearing the appeal, the court found Nancy still guilty, and the monetary judgment was enforced.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a
So
lot
again,
too.
short and sweet.
Woo.
I thought it was good.
Not as many details. I'm really fond of the detail approach though. Still,
I know. Like it really like makes everything so much more simpler to understand. And it was entertaining too. So
yeah, I was going for that.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed yours. I feel like it was like the one that's in between mine and
If yours and hers had,
yeah, you know, kind of like the mid.
it's the happy medium.
Yeah, I actually liked yours a lot.
Run with Money. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was fun to read. Well, cool. All right, Alexandra, you're up. You're up to bat.
All right. So I did not get this done before starting because I had a lot of classes. So
Yeah.
bear with me because it's a very, very rough draft.
It's cool.
All right.
All right, shoot.
So Tyson Smith is suing Downtown Dry Cleaners for ruining his suits. He wants the dry cleaners to pay for a new suit. The dry cleaners plead not guilty, saying that the suits were in perfect condition when they left the store. Since they pled not guilty, both parties have to go to trial. Each party produces evidence to the trial proving either innocence or guiltiness. At the end of the trial, the jury decides that the Downtown Dry Cleaners are guilty. The company is not happy with the sentences, so they appeal for a retrial. It is denied and will not go to further courts.
Ooh. Ouch.
Take
Denied.
that, dry cleaners.
Last time you messed up
I
somebody's
like that one.
I try to keep it simple since I'm so clueless, but if you guys like it, I guess I'm sticking with it.
No, it was good. I actually don't know what I would have improved on it.
I mean, I think
Yeah, good
it was. I think it was really good. I liked
you.
it. I think both your guys's was like the happy mediums, and then Aaron and mine's were like on the opposite ends. But
Mhm.
I definitely liked both of them. So how do we want to proceed forward? And try
Well,
and
we're gonna
go
have to
figure
pick which stepchild we want here.
Yep.
out- No.
So, and I'm Yeah, I don't, I don't know which one to pick.
So I'm just gonna throw out. I like Rogers the best, so I think we should go with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say dry cleaners, but who's with me?
I like Rogers the best. Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
I'll go. Rogers, yours is gonna be chosen this time around.
It stinks. All right, that means I'm gonna have to like do spell check and everything else on this now.
So, so what we need to do is that we need to have someone who's on the template for the group assignment, probably writing down all these things that we decide today. So do we
Okay, I'm on the
have
template
someone?
now.
All right, sweet. And since it's yours, you can just copy and paste your
Yeah.
example over.
I've
All
got.
right.
Oh, dude, I already wrote it into it just in case.
Boom.
But yeah, I'll use. I'm not staring at you guys. I'm trying to. I got it moved over to another screen. All right. So the first thing it wants us to do is. Okay, wait. So it says our example, and then it says an explanation of our example. What's the difference? Because I feel like we kind of encompassed them both and did the same.
Yeah, I agree. So I think somehow we need to basically take the explanations from our example and put it separately, I guess.
Okay. So, okay. Okay. So the explanation of the example might be what I told you, and then our example can be just like like it showed it in the book. It was like Larry, or not Larry. Sorry, that's mine. But like the lawsuit, like how it officially looks from the clerk or something.
Yeah. Well, and like in the example that she gives, like she doesn't give any of those like I had a ton of them in
I see what
of
you're saying.
this rule. It just says straight up. The example just says straight up what happens. Like he goes from this the complaint to trial to appeal. It just says exactly what happens. And then in her example, then the explanation is all the like little things that we said why that happened.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
So that's good to know.
We want to.
Examples.
Yeah. So we want to do, I guess. So I guess in our example we put like Larry McBiceps versus Nancy Run with Money, and then and then what? Like we just basically kind of like rough draft it, like is suing for breaching the company's contract through fraud.
Yeah.
And all right, hang on. Let me switch some things around here because I got it in the spots. Very. And then do I guess do we just have one person turning it in, or do we have to have multiple? Like, does everyone have to?
I think we only have one person turning it in.
Okay, got it.
I think
Oh,
we have
yeah,
to
'cause it
put
has
everyone's
asked your
name
names.
on it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Everyone
right.
who attended.
All right, Larry Biceps is suing. Oh wait, versus Nancy Run with Money. Okay. How would you like kind of, I don't know if we're supposed to like formally put it or just like, because like on page 60 it goes over like, gives us an example. It's like Paul plaintiff versus Doris defendant, and then it gives a complaint and then like different steps in it. Like, do you think we need to take that approach, or do we just need to like, this is our example?
Yeah, I don't think so. If you go to the
Okay.
instructions with group meeting, in iLearn, she kind of
It's a human.
splits it up, and I reading that would probably be really helpful.
Yeah. What's with you and instructions, man? You and instructions.
It's 'cause I have
You're just completely owning us with these instructions.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so I have to look it up a lot. So
Well, you're one step ahead of me. Cool. What? This is gonna sound silly. Hang on. I gotta figure out what class I'm in. This is 275, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay. So, do you want to start thinking about one of the questions that we could ask?
Yeah.
I mean, looking through the template and like reading the instructions She said try to figure out like the correct answer first.
Okay.
Right.
We'll tell you what. Let me put this up on the chat. That way you guys can kind of read it, and then again, look. I'll make sure. Like I said, spell check and everything will be good on it. But
Sweet.
this will be a rough draft, right? I can do that, right?
You
There's
should
the
be
chat.
able to.
Yeah, I got it. Here it is. Oh, sorry. Wow, that's big. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right.
You're good.
Okay. So Larry McBiceps, since Nancy Run with Money, and
So I think for the example, you would I think from what I've read that you would take out things like to answer she can file a well-to motion to dismiss. Nancy instead decides to answer, take that out and just say what Nancy did, like just straight up what Nancy did, not what she can do. And then in the explanation, you would then put that in the explanation, like Nancy could have done this, but she's decided to do that.
okay,
That makes
I see what you're
sense.
saying. Yeah.
It's like the example that she gives, the legal counsel needed to the company and its legal exposure. The company's board of director tells Bill that they would like him to sign a revised employment contract. Bill would like legal advice about the new contract before signing it. He calls Nancy to ask her about the contract. During the conversation with Nancy, Bill reveals that he has been making use of the company car in violation of the company violation, or in violation of the company policy. So that's the
Okay. So we just want to present the case and not
explanation. She said,
necessarily, the solution. That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But wait, with the solution that you've already written up.
yeah, the solution's actually in the explanation of the example.
Exactly. So we could just separate that and create a question out of the solution that you've already had. So that makes it less work on all of us. Does that sound like a good idea?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so all right, so Larry McBiceps, Nancy Money, filing a lawsuit. For a breach in their company's contract. Or yeah, is that what I want to say? Because it's technically fraud, but I guess that works.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the explanation, and that's why he did what he did, is because those are the steps. So yeah, I think that sounds good.
All right.
Contract. Breach of the company's contract. Okay, so what do we think is next? What's the next step in the example, not the explanation of it?
In the example, so after we do our example, where's all my stuff?
Bye-bye.
All right.
Let's see, Larry files. Appropriate. I feel like I'm just like repeating what I have in the explanation.
That's okay. I mean, I would say the case that we created is on that demonstrates the process a legal case goes through from the complaint to an appeal. So we can create a question that can help demonstrate that. I know that's basically
Yeah.
rephrasing the words, but like the first question can be like okay, the theme of the questions can be, which of these questions is correct about the way the case goes from a complaint to an appeal? And maybe you can switch the order of them within the example.
Mhm.
Oh, I have an idea. Okay, I got this. So we have like the example of like Nancy going to court and like taking everything and doing all that fun stuff. And then you have the like a list of the sequence of things going that have to happen for it to go from a complaint to an appeal. And you can change them up. I've seen that on my exams and my quizzes all the time. How does that sound to you guys? Because that's the only way I can kind of think of it. I mean, unless she wants us to have like the story answer the question.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. I think that's great. What we can do is I'm going to finish up putting the example, and then I'm just going to give it to you guys to see what you think. You guys can edit it how you see fit. But if you guys want to come up with, because we have to have how many questions?
I think it's just one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, that just blew my plan out of the water. Never mind.
But we just have to do one question.
It's well, it's
Yeah, it looks like one question, the correct answer feedback. Oh wait, but it does have. There's
there
wrong
needs to be
answers
wrong
too.
answers.
That's odd. Okay, yeah. So and then explanation or feedback of those wrong answers.
Why they're not right.
Okay.
So I guess
right.
ultimately we're having multiple choice right there, and if you pick the wrong multiple choice, you need to be told why that's wrong.
Okay, so do we each want to take a question and create the answer to it?
Sure. I'm good with that.
Well, we actually only need one question, and then like wrong answers too.
Okay, so I can take a wrong answer and do a wrong answer explanation, and then I'll put it in the group chat.
I'm question.
What'd you say?
What's the question we're answering right
Yeah,
now?
well, we'll need the question first so we can make those wrong answers. But
Okay.
I guess what Simone was thinking was like order of operations type of thing, like where
Right.
yeah. So and that could that could be.
And
I'm not against that.
with the example, like the question example, and the story inside the situation, we can take it as far. We can do maybe even like a sequence, like do the sequence in the story, and have like what comes next, because that still tests the knowledge of how the case goes from a complaint to an appeal, except we might, instead of doing a full entire question, we can do this is the question, this is the answer because of blah 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 blah, and we'll have the correct answer and then the wrong answers.
Okay.
I mean, that's another idea. It's all of what we want to do. I feel like any of it can work, because I think she's kind of letting it go to our creativeness.
Well, what comes to have any of you looked at the instructions for the group meeting? She gives a bunch of examples for questions, and there's like good questions and bad questions.
I did read that.
And the good question is that understand the concept, not necessarily a definition. So I feel like our question somehow needs to be able to, I'm not really sure what concept we're trying to get across, just the order. So I suppose.
I mean, the concept is the order and like how to to like what it takes for. I mean, that's because that's what it wants us to explain and what our reading
Right.
was.
Right.
So I mean, we don't necessarily have a concept this time around, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, ours isn't technically definition. It's the sequential order of how it goes from one place to another, from A to B, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way I think of it, but it can be totally different.
So would our, have something like Larry McBiceps is suing Nancy Run with Money for breaching their companies with wow, I can't talk, for breach in their company's contract. What order would she have to do to have it get to court, or like?
Yeah, or what order would Larry have to take for it to get to? Well, yeah, I see what you're saying though. Yeah.
That I love that. I
Like-
think that could work really well.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, figure these out.
And I do have to leave in about
Well, I guess
10 minutes because I have a meeting with the bishop.
a weird
All right.
Oh, that's no excuse.
I'm
order.
sorry.
It's totally an excuse.
I'm just kidding.
All
I'm just
right.
kidding.
So I think, do you mind putting in the group chat, putting that as the question
Mhm.
and typing it out so that we can reference it? And then we can type in our quiz question answers, because I think that's so far. Yeah?
Yeah. So would we put this question in the individual quiz or part of the group assignment submission?
I have no idea because I have opened the actually I have the group quiz. I had it open and it looked like what was it? It looked like your example. Give me a second.
Okay, so guys, give me. Let me tell me what you think of this. So this is our example, not the explanation. So Larry McBiceps is a customer of a private financial institution. He's invested a lot of money to his retirement and has noticed no increase in the last several months. Larry approaches his contact in the company, handling the profile, and discovers that Nancy Run with Money, the owner, has been using his investments for other purposes. And then, boom, the explanation after that is Larry McBiceps suing Nancy blah, blah, blah for a breach in the company's contract. Larry first filed a lawsuit, yada, yada, yada.
Okay, so for the individual example submission, you have your group's concept topics, and then you do your concept there.
Okay.
So I think like
Yeah,
for for the concept topics, it's not necessarily like the full blown thing, but maybe just like the topic that we had.
Yep,
And
it
like
is. Yeah,
that
she's
idea.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well,
Yeah, 'cause
no,
I
I
don't
think, well, how I understood it is like the concept topic is the question that we were given. Like, well, that's our
Mhm.
question, and then we put in, yeah, our,
Okay. Okay.
like, our
So
example,
that's
like,
the
wait.
individual. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and
yep,
then
so-
what we're doing for the template, that's the group assignment.
Okay.
And I think
Which
only
is-
one person
That's,
turns that in.
yeah. And that's a different
Correct.
section, yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
But you're still going to
Um,
send
what
the
else?
question that we have to work on through the email? Are we
Yeah.
still doing that? Okay.
That would be the best, and I will go ahead and take one of the wrong answer ones, and I'll do a different sequence.
Okay.
'Cause I need to go ahead and get off pretty soon as well.
So we all need to come up with a bad example, right?
Yes.
Okay.
One of us needs to come up with the correct example, and the rest of us, I think we might only need to do 3 more.
Okay.
Need to come up with bad examples. And it can just be switching around the sequence of the order of how things go.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
That works
So-
for me.
Welcome back.
Sorry, I went down for a sec. What are we doing? Question form.
So we finished the example part of it, and then obviously we already have the explanation of the example. So the example part of it, we just put Larry McBiceps is a customer of a private financial institution. He's invested a lot of money to his retirement. Has noticed that the occasional, has noticed no increase over the last several months. Larry approaches his contact in the company handling his profile and discovers that Nancy Run With Money, the owner, has been using his investments for other purposes. I'm going to assume he's like, yeah, that's awesome. Sounds great.
Can you not hear me?
Well, you're like, now I did for that second. Yes, I heard that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay.
who's coming up with? Okay, so what was? Hold on.
Well,
What
there's
was the
4 of
question
us
again?
right now. And so if
Yeah.
one of us just wants to do the good one, and then the other 3 of us can make the bad ones.
I can do either. If one, but I can definitely, whatever you guys don't want to do, let me know, and I'll do it.
I can do a bad
So
one.
what is our question exactly? Dang it, he froze again.
That's okay.
So what is our question?
I don't think we've decided yet.
Okay.
I thought the question was like, what is the order that it needs to go through?
Oh, okay.
So
Who's
so if Larry, wait,
let's
So like the correct order
No,
he needs to
sounds
go
like you-
through to get a trial, like, is that what we're supposed to do?
The question was to go from complaint to an appeal.
Okay.
Process of going to trial, and then
what?
so I
the
it'd
not going through the agreement.
So what if we each did, like, one of us did the correct sequence, and then the other 3 like
Yeah.
mixed them all up?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question on that though. So he doesn't have to appeal anything. So what if we just did like, what is the correct process for him to file a lawsuit?
Yeah, that would work.
What was it again? I didn't hear you. My computer clunked.
Sorry. So he actually doesn't have to appeal anything. Well, maybe he would actually. Never mind. He technically could, because if it went the other way, he would have to appeal it.
Yeah, every case
That's true.
can
Okay,
appeal.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
any
true.
case
Okay,
can appeal.
so-
And that's why with our exams, she says that we can appeal to get the right answer, even though our answer was
Right.
wrong.
All right. So what is the correct process Larry has to take in order to win the case? To what's that last bit?
Our thing is,
In order
give an example
to-
to demonstrate the process a legal case goes through from complaint to appeal.
Okay. What is the correct process Larry has to take in order to correctly file a lawsuit against Nancy? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaving it alone. Did it. Done.
Okay.
Okay, so and now we need a correct answer, which we all have, and then I guess so who? Everybody pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
5.
Oh man, Aaron's gone. Okay, it was 8. So if Alexander, do you want to give the correct answer?
Yeah. Just so I'm getting it
Yeah.
correct,
Go
will
ahead.
you give me the correct answer? Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I
No,
feel like I'm going to
you're
mess
good.
it up and
So
you'll be
this
like, ugh, I don't want her in my group anymore.
No. No, we can all like kind of check ourselves too. Like once we finish it, we can just check it.
Okay.
If you go to page think it's wait a second. Oh yeah, it's page 59 in the book.
Okay.
It goes taking a case to court, and it follows all the steps through. And then I guess what you can do is like compare it to the paragraph that I have, and whatever steps I put in there, then we can just that's the step, that's the step, that's the step.
Okay.
So I guess actually ultimately just reading that you'll get that's the steps.
All right. I can do that.
The explanation.
That
And then I
works.
guess the rest of us will just, hey, Aaron.
Hey,
So we drew straws, and Alexandra drew the short one. She's going to give us our correct answer.
perfect.
The short one got the
And then
short
we're
one.
just going to, yep, well, we're just going to mess up the rest of the answers
Woohoo!
as
Perfect.
far as processes are concerned. So our question, if you heard it, is what is the correct process Larry has to take in order to correctly file a lawsuit against Nancy?
All right, sounds good. And are we ending that with an appeal? No.
So she did appeal. She appealed, not him.
Uh-huh.
But so yeah, we will have to, I guess, incorporate an appeal. We talked about that because we feel like, I guess, because he technically could appeal too if he lost.
Right.
Yeah. So you're right. So you're still you're right.
All
We'll
right.
do
Sorry.
all the way to appeal.
So if we could just like post when the correct answer is made, and if we just post that in the group chat, then we could take that and mix it up, and that way we'd be using the exact same language as the first
Mhm.
one.
Touche. Very good.
So
my meeting it starts at 8, and I don't know how long it will go. So you'll have to give me maybe a half hour to 45 minutes to get it all set up.
Okay. All right.
That's
you
okay.
guys-
And will you just do it in the group email?
Yeah, I can do that.
I think if you do
Perfect.
it in
And
the
then what
group
I'll do is,
out, and then we can rearrange.
Okay.
That'd be perfect.
and
I
then
can do
and
that.
when you guys finish yours, just send them back to that email, and then I'll just throw them into our thing, and then I'll send that back out to you guys so you guys can view it. And then it's due tomorrow, right?
It's due
Yes.
tonight at 11, isn't it?
What?
Oh, mine says it's due at 12.
Same
Tonight?
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's
Oh, tomorrow?
Thursday.
Oh, tomorrow.
Oh yeah, sorry. Wrong one.
Okay. Whew.
Tomorrow.
Ah,
I will
I was
Heart
thinking, yeah,
attack
sorry.
averted.
tomorrow, don't worry, guys.
I specialize in heart attacks.
All right. Alexandra's got jokes. Got it. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. So let's do that then. We'll collude by email after this, and then I will send out the final product so we can finish her up at the end. And then probably by tomorrow, I won't be home till late. So probably like 6 o'clock, I'll resend it out to everybody. So kind of to keep a lookout then. And then, yeah, I think we'll be square.
Okay.
Sounds
Oh, and then also
Thank you,
this
guys.
video, whose account is it going to? Like who's it getting
Whoever-
up?
Mine.
Whoever
yours?
clicks
Okay.
record, it will go to yours.
Yeah, I'll just send you the link to the YouTube thing, and then you can stick that
Gotcha.
in the
Tweet.
thing.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I think we've crossed our I's and dotted our T's. We're good.
Yay.
Also, make sure when you do your answer, you put feedback for it. So for the right answer, I think you need to put why that's the right answer, and for the wrong answer, you need to put why that's the wrong answer.
sounds good. So
Okay.
Very good.
after, just remember to do the feedback and look at the template when you do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And she gives
Sounds
examples
good.
too, so we can look
That
at
works.
that.
All right,
Perfect.
guys.
All right.
Well done. Good first meeting.
Woohoo!
We'll double our group size hopefully next time.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. All
right.
right, guys.
See ya.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Thank you.
Toodaloo.
Bye.